From KGW News, this is Straight Talk with Laurel Porter.
Hello and welcome to Straight Talk. I'm Laurel Porter. Many of us see things we would like to change in our world, and we do want to make a difference, but we may think, what can one person really do? But what if we had 99 girlfriends joining with us? Just think what we could do. That's the idea behind the organization called 99 Girlfriends. They pool their resources to make a positive impact through grants and collaborative learning. So far, the group has made grants of nearly $3 million to dozens of organizations in the 4-county region. This graphic shows the impact the funds have had in various focus areas. Joining us now to tell us how the group got started and how it works, we'll get to see the real difference it's making and let you know how you can join. My guests are co-founder and member of 99 Girlfriends, Deborah Edward. Also joining us, a member of the group's leadership team, Tammy Wilhoit. And we also welcome Katie O'Brien, the executive director of Rosehaven, one of the nonprofits benefiting from the grants awarded by 99 Girlfriends. Welcome, Deborah, Tammy, and Katie. It's so nice to have you here.
It's great to be here.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
I have heard so much about 99 Girlfriends over the years. As Tammy, I think you were saying earlier, the girlfriends are everywhere. You say, oh, there's a girlfriend. But I've always wanted to find out more, so I'm so happy you're here. So let's go down the table and ask each of you to describe, for those of us who haven't heard about it, what 99 Girlfriends is all about and what it has meant to you. And we'll start with Deborah.
Great. Well, 99 Girlfriends is an opportunity for women to be collectively giving back to our community. And so it's a group of women. The intention was to get 100 women so that we could each give a certain amount of money and give out $100,000 grants to people that were doing really good work in the nonprofit community in our 4 counties. And we have, in the last couple of years, brought a whole lot of women in to learn kind of what's happening in our nonprofit community and to make a really big impact on different nonprofits in our community.
And what has it meant to you?
Well, I was one of the founders, so it's been an incredible ride for me to meet so many women that have so many different ways of wanting to connect to the community. And it's also been incredibly fun to put this all together and to see it grow and to see the nonprofits get more support and to see people in the nonprofits, people in the group, the 99 Girlfriends group, become members of boards and commissions and just get much more active in the community.
Well, Tammy, how would you describe 99 Girlfriends?
I would say it's a wonderful community, an inclusive community of women and non-binary individuals who want to make a difference, who want to get to know other people in the community that care about the community and want to make a difference and realize that they can do more together than they can do by themselves. And that's the biggest impact for me is seeing that collaborative and how strong it can be.
What has it meant for you in your life?
Well, gosh, it's been 6 years in my life of, I was taking a little break from work after my dad was ill and had recovered, and I'd been really involved in that, and fell into 99 Girlfriends, found out about it, and Deborah started mentoring me in the member education group, and it's just been wonderful. Even professional development, it's been a great way to be able to take the skills that I have and the time that I'm able to commit and actually feel like I'm making a difference, and it's fun, it's joyful. We're a learning organization. We're not worried about being perfect. We're all volunteers, so the people are committed. We have amazing volunteers that do all this work, and then to have women say, I want to be part of that, let me come and participate too, is really rewarding.
And Katie, you have a bit of a different perspective because you are from Rosehaven. You're a group that received one of the grants from all of these 99 Girlfriends. What are your thoughts about the organization?
We love the Girlfriends. I think what's so interesting about them is they're a group of learners. I think individually they have this passion and this desire to do more, but I think they recognize that they can only individually know what they know with their own lens, and so by pulling all of these people together, you're getting different perspectives, and I would include the agencies. They pull the agencies really close, and they learn a lot about the agencies, as part of their decision-making process. So they just have this desire to always be learning and enriching themselves and the community at the same time.
And we're going to find out more later about the impact they actually made on Rosehaven. But Deborah, you mentioned you're a co-founder. You co-founded it with Eileen Brady, the co-founder of New Seasons. And I understand it all started at a social event on a dare. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So Eileen and I had never met before at all. There's a group of young women who had brought in for a couple of months professionals from all different fields to tell them kind of how to become a professional and being active. And they brought all of us together at this party that was just to celebrate the fact that we were there and that we'd been helping them. And I'm talking to Eileen, and I'm a New Yorker, I like to complain. So I was complaining that in Portland, we didn't have really easy pathways for women to get really involved in community. And I was describing a program in Austin, Texas, where I'd lived for about 40 years, called Impact Austin. And it was based on this model. If you get 100 women to each give $1,000, you can give $100,000 grants. And there were 14 or 15 of them all around the country that were doing this. And I said, well, we don't have one of those. We don't have a place where women can each collectively put together $1,000 each and, make this happen. And these women that were in Austin, they learned so much about the community and they made a huge impact. And Eileen said, okay, we'll just do it. And I said, well, okay, I'll teach you, I'll connect you to the people in Austin. She said, no, you have to do it with me. And we went into the kitchen where a whole lot of really powerful women were. And Eileen just announced, we're going to do this. And we all kind of put our hands together. And, she's a little bit more of a cheerleader than I would have been. And she said, we are all committed to making this happen. So that's where it started. And we got a lot of learning from Austin, Texas, and from a whole group of about 60 Impact 100 type of women's collective giving circles on how to do this right and what kind of problems we might have thinking about, can you really get 100 women to give $1,100, and can it be inclusive, and how do you organize thinking about giving out grants, and how do you do it all? And we just started making our own website and inviting people to consider being part of it. And we thought, maybe we'll get 80 people, maybe we'll get 30 people, we don't know. But the first year we got 117 women from all different places just hearing about us, and they showed up, and we got this incredible support from the grant makers of Oregon and Southwest Washington. And they brought in someone to teach us a lot about social change and systems change and how to think about nonprofits, and we started launching.
Well, what year was that? How long ago was that?
2016.
So in that short amount of time, really, 7 years, you've grown. How big is it now?
We're 275, I think, members this year. We've been up to 505, but like everybody else, we were really impacted by the pandemic.
Is there any limit to how many girlfriends that you'll have in the organization?
No, the reason that we kind of built to about 500 was we wanted to give out, for every 100 people in the group that give $1,000, we wanted to give a $100,000 grant. And we have 5 focus areas of support that we want to give. So our intention was, can we give 5 $100,000 grants? So we need 500 women. And we pulled that off. We were everybody was amazed. The whole Women's Collective Giving Circle community was like, you pulled that off so quickly. But it was all before COVID. So, we didn't expect it to continue. But it was such a great moment when we could give 5 $100,000 grants to the 5 focus areas that we support. And we support arts and culture. We support family and human services.
We have a graphic that shows there are 5 focus areas. I know this is hard to remember.
Creative expression, environment, sustainability, and education and lifelong learning. So a lot of nonprofits fit under many of those different places.
So Tammy, you're a member of the leadership group. How do you decide how you're going to give these grants to who? I mean, there's so many deserving organizations.
Yes, well, Deborah was talking about how we learned from other organizations. There's actually an association of women's collective giving circles, and it's a great resource for how different groups do different things. So we've taken our years of learning, and every year we reach out to the nonprofits that are awarded and ask how we could do things better, and we talk to each other about what we want to keep, what we want to do differently. All of that means every year our process is a little bit different, but we basically have girlfriends who volunteer to be on teams that will have all of the applications for that focus area, and they'll review all of them, and with our guiding principles in mind and our values in mind, and they will narrow down the number of applications until they have whatever the number is for that year that we're trying to get. And then we produce, one of our wonderful volunteers produces a voter's guide, and we learn more from the nonprofits through videos or site visits or whatever it is for that year. And then our whole membership votes. So if you're a girlfriend, you get to vote. We have a very small number that choose not to, but everybody gets to vote, and then the winners are determined by that vote.
And one of the deserving recipients, Katie O'Brien, you're the executive director of Rosehaven, a day shelter in Portland. Tell us a little bit about Rosehaven before we hear about the grant.
Sure. Rosehaven's been around for 26 years, started as a real small program of Catholic Charities and spun out as an independent 501c3 15 years ago. So we had our own financial independence that we needed to sustain. But we serve women, children, and gender diverse folks who are living on the spectrum of poverty. And some of those folks have housing and housing for them and their children, but they can't afford to do much more than that. So we will help with supplies and food and some utility support, things like that. All the way to the other end of the spectrum, folks who are living outside and have been for a number of years. And we served 3,027 people last year who visited our shelter collectively over 22,000 times. And we kind of two arms of our service, I would say. There's just this basic service side where we have bathrooms and showers and nutritious food and supplies and clothing and things to help stabilize people. And once people know they can come there and they're going to be treated with dignity and respect, they kind of relax and they start thinking about other aspects of their lives. And so we have on-site advocates and mental health workers who then help navigate the social service system and other nonprofits to help find housing and recovery and domestic violence support and employment and a variety of other things.
So what did it mean to Rosehaven to get this grant from the 99 Girlfriends?
It was a really big deal. It's still a really big deal. So for us, I mean, we had been an agency. I mean, I started working with Rosehaven like 14 years ago when we were serving 750 people. So there's been this incremental growth. And as an agency that doesn't receive any government funding, we've been really reliant on public support, or private support, excuse me. And sometimes when you want to have a new program or a big impact, you're trying to kind of piece together how you're going to fund that in addition to all of your other operations, which is super challenging, and the timing matters and all of that. But we had the opportunity to apply in 2019 under the health and wellness umbrella, I believe that was. And with the idea that we wanted to start an on-site mental health program because we were recognizing that the folks that were coming to us were having really a lot more complex trauma than we were able to deal with, and that there wasn't an infrastructure in place in the community to support them, so we wanted to be able to help bridge that gap. And it was incredible. So we went through the whole process, which was really fun and exciting and challenging for us. And were awarded the grant in January of 2020, and as we all know, by March of 2020, things had changed for everybody with the pandemic. So we were just on the verge of launching this new program, and then didn't know if we were going to even have an agency at all at that point. And so for us, we were trying to figure out, can we stay open? Are we going to have enough financial support in general? And in true girlfriend fashion, they called us and proactively and said, we don't want you to feel committed to using this money for this specific program. We trust you if you just use it in the way that's going to best serve people in this unique point in time. So we were really grateful for that. And it allowed us to kind of feel like we had some stability moving into the pandemic because there were so many unknowns. And as a result of that, others continued to support us because we were able to stay in business. And, we were able to do great things. We were able to move and all this other stuff. And coincidentally, well, not coincidentally, but we just started at the end of last year the mental health program that was funded by Providence, that now we were able to go back to that template that we had written and and worked through it with these folks so well, to use that as a template to start a program that's really, really meaningful for us.
Well, it's got to feel really great to hear how your money is being used when you hear what Katie has to say, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they did an incredible job. The thing that was really interesting was this COVID change.
Yeah.
When when COVID started happening, we, the leadership of 99 Girlfriends, committed to this concept of trust-based philanthropy and said to all our grantees, do whatever is right for you to use our money however you can. And we asked the whole membership if that was okay, and they said that was fine. But it's kind of transformed the way that we give money right now, because we have, initially we were like, give us a really big idea, like Katie's big idea, and now it's, tell us about your organization, and we're supporting your organization. We trust that you know what's best for what you need to do next.
And Tammy, what's happening this year? Have you given out your grants yet this year?
This year's a little bit different because we did need to postpone our strategic planning a little bit because, again, of COVID. So we've been doing strategic planning this year, and our bandwidth is a little bit smaller. So what we've done this year is we've taken organizations that we've funded in the past at a certain level and invited them to apply again. And most of them have chosen to do that. And so it's really exciting to look at these organizations that we've previously funded and get to see what they're doing now and fund them again, which is another part of trust-based philanthropy, where you do more than just a one-time gift. You reinvest in organizations that are doing well.
And when does that happen? When will the awards be made?
This fall, in October, I believe.
Well, we have a lot more we want to talk about, including another grant that you gave to an arts program. We have some video from that. We're going to talk about that and also help you find out a little bit more about 99 Girlfriends' mission and whether you might want to join it. That's coming up in 2 minutes. Welcome back to Straight Talk. I'm Laurel Porter. We're talking with members of the group 99 Girlfriends. They pool their resources to make a positive impact in the 4-county region through meaningful grants and collaborative learning. Once again, welcome to my guests, co-founder Deborah Edward and leadership member Tammy Wilhoit. Katie O'Brien, the executive director of Rosehaven, is also joining us. It's a day shelter and community center in Portland serving women, children, and gender non-conforming folks who experience the trauma of abuse, loss of a home, and other challenges. Rosehaven is a past recipient of one of the 99 Girlfriends grants. Welcome once again to Straight Talk. So nice to have you here. Now, besides giving out a grant to Rosehaven, you also gave a grant to, under the Creative Expression umbrella, to KSMOCA, I think it is. It is the King School Museum of Contemporary Art and its collaboration with PSU. Tammy, why did you choose that group for a grant?
Well, the group that was responsible for that focus area was really moved by the fact that they're so immersed in dismantling racism beginning in kindergarten, including kids K through 5, their parents, the community, PSU mentors, and doing it through art. And it's innovative, exciting, and it's really aligned with our racial equity interest in funding organizations that are really focused on racial equity or at least incorporating that in what they're doing.
Our photojournalist Stephen Redland did a story on KSMOCA and this grant that 99 Girlfriends gave it. And that's how I got the idea for this show, because I was so intrigued. So I have just a short clip from Stephen's story. Let's take a look.
The grant that brings these PSU students together with the King School Contemporary Art Museum is 99 Girlfriends. It's a group of hundreds of women who come together to support community programs like this.
Art is for everybody, from the youngest kindergartners all the way up to the PSU grad students, the teachers, the parents. You and I are here today getting to benefit from this program. It's incredible and very inclusive.
I love doing art. That's why I'm in KSMOCA.
Very good. We were really having fun making collages. I would say that we're learning to try new things and not be afraid of being wrong.
Well, you can see how much it meant to them and what a great program it is. Katie, I mean, these grants, I know you know, mean so much to these organizations.
They mean so much, and not just financially. The exposure that you get to hundreds of people that are so caring like this in the community is invaluable.
And we were talking about the grants, but you were telling me, Deborah, that learning is a really big part of 99 Girlfriends. Explain that.
So we have kind of two missions. One is to help our members get knowledgeable about the community, and the other is to use resources to impact our nonprofits that are really doing good work. And the education component is each year we have a learning question, and then we use that learning question to have discovery forum and have study groups where groups of women get together and study a particular community issue. We've been looking a lot at systems change, all the different ways that you can think about changing systems by giving direct service or by trying to reframe an issue or encouraging advocacy or getting over to the government to see if the government can make changes. So we've done a lot of different kinds of things, and it turns out that helps our members become more active in different ways. We've had people become active on boards and commissions, and we've taught them skills for that. And what's great about the learning piece is that it really comes together in a really nice way.
Well, as people have been listening to what 99 Girlfriends is all about and the impact that you're making, there might have been a lot of people who want to know more about it or actually join. Are you taking more members, Tammy?
Absolutely. They can learn more at 99girlfriends.com, or we have a link. I believe you have a link to join. And we welcome anyone. We have members from in their 20s to members in their 80s that are retired or work in any field. We have all kinds of moms.
And it's not just Portland, right?
It's Clackamas, Clark, Multnomah, and Washington counties.
And as you said, it's all inclusive too. What do they have to do to join? What's the requirement?
So we ask for $1,100, and $1,000 of that goes into the grant fund, and $100 goes into all of the other things that you need as a nonprofit. But we also have an opportunity where you can pay $550 if it's a barrier for you to pay the $1,100. That's called the Girlfriends Fund, and they really just need to go to the website and sign up, and then we'll get in touch with them and let them know all the rest.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people are interested. You also have a fellows program. What's that all about?
We do, yeah. Deborah was an architect of that originally, which was to try and bring in younger women who might be just beginning to get into philanthropy and want to learn more about it, and we provide mentors. It's currently on hold because we're reworking the program after talking to all of the young women that have gone through that so far and learning how we could improve it. But if people are interested in that, they just need to go to the website and email us through the website, and we'll make sure they learn more when we open it back up again in the spring.
Katie, we only have a couple of minutes, but I did want to touch on the daytime camping ban that's going into effect in Portland. It's really having an impact on Rosehaven. What kind of pressure are you feeling, and how are you responding?
Well, we will continue to just meet need. That's what we do. But we are concerned about how this is going to impact our guests for sure, a lot of whom have mental and physical disabilities. So we're providing support groups. We're trying to get clarity from the city about places that people can go so that there's no ambiguity about that. We're trying to have supplies we have a relationship with the Shelter Suit Foundation that's out of the Netherlands that is a tent/sleeping bag kind of thing that would be easy to roll up for folks. So we're looking at some creative ways to continue to serve the population, and can use some support in doing that for sure.
So I know you said you don't get federal funds and public funds, so you need private funds. So if people want to donate, we do have a website that you can go to. It's rosehaven.org if you'd like to contribute or to volunteer. We only have about 20 seconds left for each of you to just a final thought, a final message. Let me start with Deborah that you'd like to share.
Well, I'm just thinking about 99 Girlfriends, the kinds of relationships and connections that have been made within the group, with the nonprofits that are around us, and with the people that have been teaching us, have been incredible. And it's been a great, I think, experience for many of us to learn more and to get more active and to get more involved. And I've just had a great time, and I really appreciate the volunteers that all step up and make it happen.
And Tammy?
Yeah, I was just going to say, we could not do what we do without our volunteers, and we couldn't do what we do without the organizations that we partner with. We don't know how to do all of the great things they do, but we know how to do our part and partner with them, and that's really rewarding.
And Katie, a final thought, about 20 seconds.
Everybody's doing their part, and I think if you don't have the means to be involved in an organization that's fantastic like 99 Girlfriends, there are plenty of ways to get involved through volunteerism and other means.
Yeah.
Well, I want to
It's going
thank
to take
you.
all of us.
Katie O'Brien, Tammy Wilhoit, Deborah Edward, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for the good works that you're doing in our community. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having us.
And thank you for watching and for listening to our podcast. Remember, you can get KGW's podcast wherever you get your podcast. Search for KGW Straight Talk. And join me next week when my guest is Congressman Earl Blumenauer. We'll see you next week for Straight Talk. Have a great week.